Good morning children. Let's continue with the chapter number 18 and today we will go through the topic other fuels. Animals and human power is also used to move many vehicles like horse carts, bullock carts, cycle rickshaws, etc. So children, animals and even the human power, they are used to move the many vehicles like horse carts, bullock carts, cycle rickshaw. In this case, food becomes the fuel which helps these animals and people to move the vehicles. So children, for animals and human power, food becomes the fuel which helps these animals and people to move the vehicle. Alternative fuels are those whose supply can be renewed. They are called renewable energy. They cause less pollution than fossil fuels. So children, here alternative fuels are those whose supply can be renewed and they are said to be renewable energy. What is the meaning of renewable? A fuel that can be replaced naturally. A fuel that can be replaced naturally and can therefore be used without the risk of finishing it all. And also they cause less pollution than fossil fuels. Some well-known alternative fuels are biodiesel, bioalcohol, electricity, hydrogen and solar energy. So all these are alternative fuels. Biodiesel is obtained from plants and animals matter. So how the biodiesel is obtained? By the plant and animal matter. It is now used as fuel in many vehicles. So it is used in many vehicles. Bioalcohol is a form of alcohol obtained from animals and plant matter. This alcohol, bioalcohol is also, it is a form of alcohol and it is obtained from animal and plant matter. Electricity is used to power the batteries that run the motors in electric vehicles. Most of the trains of Indian Railways, the Delhi and Kolkata metro train networks use electricity as fuel. Children, electricity is used as the power. It is used to power the batteries and even to run the motors, and even the electricity it is used in the trains of Indian Railways. In Delhi and Kolkata metro train network, it is been used as a fuel. Electricity is used as a fuel. Solar energy can also be used to power batteries that can run vehicles. So, solar energy can also be used in power batteries that are used to run the vehicles. It is also used as a source of energy for domestic purposes such as heating, cooking and lighting. Hydrogen can be useful source of heat and electricity for buildings. It can also be used to power vehicles. So children, solar energy, it is also used for the domestic purposes. Now next topic is fuel is costly. So children, everybody knows that fuel is very costly. As fossil fuels are getting used up day by day, they are getting costlier. So fuels, they are being used day by day in the vehicles in the form of petrol, diesel, and day by day they are getting costlier. A rise in the cost of these fuels automatically leads to a rise in the cost of other commodities like food, grains and vegetables. So children, when there is a rise in this fuels, automatically there is a rise in the cost of commodities like food, grains and vegetables. This is because they are transported to different places using vehicles which assume these fuels. Now why they become costly? Why the food become costly? Vegetables and food grains? Just because they are transported from one place to another place, and for the transportation vehicles are being used, and vehicles they assume these fuels. So automatically if there is a rise in the price in the fuel, then there will be the rise in the commodities like food grain and vegetables. This is why we should try and save as much fuel as we can in our daily life. So children, we must save the fuel in our daily life. We should use public transport like buses, trains, etc. instead of our private cars as far as possible. So children, as far as possible, use the public transport like buses, trains to save the fuel. For short distance, we can walk or use bicycles. So if we want to go to the short distance, we can use bicycle or we can go by walk. We can form carpools to go to school or work. We should not keep the car engine running for very long at traffic signals. So we should not keep the car engine running for a long at the traffic signals. We should use fuels which are friendly to the environment. Even we can use the fuel which are friendly to the environment. We should not leave lights and fans switched on in rooms where there is no one present. So children, we should not leave the lights and fans on where there is no one in the room. Now let's go through our values and let's remember. So first we will go through our values. We should be very careful while using fossil fuels or they may soon be used up completely. So children, we should use the fossil fuels very carefully or they may soon be used up completely. What should we do so that fossil fuels can be made to last as long as possible? So this is the question for you. You can answer it. What should we do so that fossil fuels can be last for a longer period? Now let's remember, all vehicles run on fuels. Fuels are of many different kinds. So what we have learnt from the chapter, all vehicles run on a fuel and there are many different kinds of fuel. Fossil fuels are the most commonly used fuels and are non-renewable. So fossil fuels, they are most commonly fuels and they can be replaced naturally. Coal, petroleum and natural gas are the important fossil fuels. So children, we have studied about these important fuels. They are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Alternative fuels or renewable fuels are environment friendly and their supply can be renewed. So alternative fuels, they are environment friendly and their supply can be renewed. So children, we have completed the chapter number 18. See you with the new chapter in our next video. Till then, stay safe.